Well, hello there, Apple Bites. This is your Apple Bite written Ralph talking to you straight from our show here, Apple Bites. We take out a bite out of the apple and we share it with you. That's right. It's time to get crazy, have fun, geek out, and be a hero. Folks, you guys know Paul, you guys know Michael, and that is Riven right there. And we will start talking all about all the beautiful things we do here on Bitten AppleTV. And of course, you know, this is our 10th anniversary year. So a lot of good things are coming and a lot of good things will be seen. Mike, I want to start off with you so that we can get into why Riven is here as well. But I need your story first so we can get into Riven's story. So go for it, Mike.
Sounds great. So should I just talk about how we met?
Well, I think you want to talk a little bit about what you do first.
Okay. Well, so I'm an author, a TEDx speaker. I teach kids and adults how to play Frisbee at a local park. I'm a video game designer. And what else am I forgetting? Probably other stuff. And I do have a YouTube channel as well. And
you're a jack of all trades, bro.
I have a lot of interests, and so I was on a podcast, and I was interviewed, and Riven happened to see my interview, and he was super kind and turned it into first a song and then a music video, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever. And
that is cool, very impressive.
Very impressive, and I really appreciate it too because I used to play music, and so it got me excited about making music again myself. So yeah, and he's just been so kind. Like I ended up actually making a song, and he made a music video for it. So yeah, and he is incredibly talented too at making music, and I think especially at making the videos. To be honest, because
right.
I think I teared up in both of the videos he made, and I'm not like a tear upper, so like it was just like really hitting in the heart and the emotion. So thank you for everything that you've done, Riven.
Oh, you're entirely welcome, of course. Yeah.
So so what did he pick up on? What was the interview doing? Was it because of the book, How to Be a Superhero?
Yeah, the main thing of course, with an interview about me, it's going to be about kindness and the power of kindness, and how just a little bit of kindness, like saying hi to somebody or holding a door open or etc., just opens up so many doors and can ripple so far and wide and make such a big difference in people's lives. And so that's what the video is about. And so you can see it right there on the website. It's called the Superhero of Kindness, and that's the one that he made. And then I ended up making one called The Might of Kindness. And then he made the music video for that. And there's my TEDx talk that I did about how we can all be a real life superhero and how we all have our own real life superpowers. And we can use them to help the world. And the most beautiful thing is, just like tonight, when we all come together and combine our superpowers to make something even better than what we could do on our own.
That's why I always like bringing you back, Mike, because this is exactly what we believe in here in Bitten AppleTV. We raise each other up. We rise to the top if we're all trying to raise each other up. It makes it much easier, too, because when you're trying to rise by yourself, it's a much harder job than it is when you're rising with other people.
Absolutely. And it just makes, in my opinion, the world so much better. And I realize, too, that when I'm being kind and caring and loving towards other people, the world just becomes just like heaven, honestly. But like if I'm like being grumpy and selfish or whatever, like the world seems like a nightmare. And so it's just like it's just great for everybody, and it's so wonderful. Like even just going into the grocery store, I don't want to go shopping, and I'm like, I don't want to be here. And then I'll just say hi to somebody coming out and see how much they're brightened up. I'm like, whoa. And then I'll just say hi to everybody in the store, and it's like it becomes a heavenly experience versus a tedious one. So it's
that's why I love the book so much, because it's almost like a play-by-play on how to do these things, and it's geared towards talking to our younger selves, our younger generation. But it's great as a great book for anybody to pick up, because it just has these simple little things that you can do to make somebody else's day better, to just make the world better.
I agree. I wrote the book first and foremost for myself, because any creative project I do, I think needs to be for myself first, because I know that if I find it useful and it's fun to me, then other people will probably find it fun and useful as well. And if I'm trying to write for another audience, like how do I write for or make a game for another audience, or you know what I mean? Because I don't know how other people think. I only know what I enjoy, and so far that's worked out pretty well. And so it's really for adults too. And I realized that one of the best ways to reach the adults is actually through the kids, because when the adults read the book with the kids, or even sometimes I've had just the kids. I had this one girl in the UK drag her mom out to help pick up garbage around the neighborhood. I'm like, there it is, it worked.
But you know what it is the kids need to do it. They need some help doing it, so the adults have to help. I mean, at least if they're good parents. I love the book. I love what you're putting up. It has so much Mr. Rogers energy in it, and especially in this time when everything's so crazy, it's exactly what we need.
Well, thank you so much. And you have been one of my biggest supporters throughout the years for everything that I do. And I mean, you're my superhero. Like, I can't tell you how much that means to me, that you care, and just that, like, you being in my corner. And that's like one of the biggest things the book is about too, like the power of just being in someone's corner, what a difference that makes.
It's important. Yeah.
It's not even necessarily what you do. It's just being there, period.
Because everybody thinks we need to do things for people. Sometimes it's as simple as just being there for people. You don't need to talk. You don't need to tell them anything. Sometimes they just want your presence. Because that alone changes things.
Absolutely. That's actually what I really tried to talk about in my book and in my TEDx talk, is that it's not actually an effort. It's really just a shift of mindset, in my opinion. Like my favorite example that I put in the TEDx talk was I was just walking into the grocery store one time, and I saw this older lady putting her groceries in her car. And I said to her, I was like, hey, if you'd like, I'd be happy to bring the shopping cart back for you. And, I was going into the store anyway, so it was no extra effort for me. And she was just like, oh my goodness, thank you so much. You're so wonderful. Like going off for 5 minutes about like how much it meant to her that I was, going to be rolling a shopping cart to where I was going anyway. But you know what I mean? So it's just those little bits, those little acts of kindness really, really go such a long way.
Right. Oh, they do, because and I feel like a lot of it is because a lot of people don't get these kindnesses from everybody. Not everybody does these kindnesses. I have a friend of mine who, is very coarse, but they're constantly doing kindnesses for people, and they're always amazed at the fact that people are like, oh my God. And I'm like, well, that's because people don't do that kind of stuff. And she's always like, what are you talking about? What do you mean people don't do that kind of stuff? No, they don't. They don't do those little kindnesses. They don't do all the stuff that you do. And it's so funny because people always like, oh, she's so mean. I'm like, yeah, but she's the first person to do a kindness.
Yeah.
So
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, it kind of makes me sad when I see two people going in the opposite direction and passing, and they don't even acknowledge each other's presence. Because I think it's just like such an easy way to brighten someone's day, and for me, like now, like I feel bad if I don't. I have to at least like wave and say, I hope you're having a great day. And if they want to say anything more, great. If not, have a great every day. So
yeah. No, and I think what it is also we've gotten to that point where when somebody greets you, you think you're supposed to like say something or say something or talk to the person. Like, no, sometimes it's just like, you have a great day too. That's it, man. That's all you got to do. It's a greeting, you don't need to talk to the person. Because I know some people don't like talking to people. Just say, have a great day.
And a great every day.
Exactly. So I was going to say, Riven, you came into this, you did the song for him. Well, let's learn a little bit about you. Who are you? What do you do? Tell the people a little bit about yourself. Give them the spiel.
Sure. Well, I pretty much sit in this recliner every day, all day long. Back in 2020, I had to stop my teaching career. I was an instructor at a community college for 32 years. I was department chair for computer-aided drafting and design, and also for digital graphics. So I taught things like AutoCAD and Photoshop and, stuff like that. So I did that for a long time, but I got diagnosed with a genetic condition called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, or EDS for short. And that's a connective tissue disorder that basically affects everything in your whole entire body, because everything in your body is connective tissue. So it really kind of affects everything. Basically, people with EDS have stretchier skin, and the collagen doesn't develop properly, so things stretch a little bit out of normal, and people have really stretchy skin, and you basically have a lot of subluxations and dislocations in all your joints, so it can be painful at times, but the biggest thing with the condition is that it brings on a lot of other conditions, and one of my challenges is my dysautonomia, which is basically being dizzy a lot of the time, having vertigo a lot of the time, and it comes on. You don't know when it's going to happen, and it just makes the whole world spin, and it's really, really tough to deal with sometimes. So, it made me stop made me stop teaching. I couldn't do it any longer because I couldn't handle it. And so, back in 2021, I was pretty down. I was in this chair, retired and not doing anything. I actually couldn't use my computer for the first couple of years that I was disabled. Something to do with the screen refresh rate or something that was bothering my dysautonomia. So I was using an iPad all the time. So I started using my iPad, and I was like, well, what can I do? And so I started learning how to use GarageBand on an iPad. And, because I was like, I always wanted to play with it, I always loved making music, and, I love music. It's been part of my life since I was just a little tiny kid. And so I started learning it. And, once I was able to use my computer again, I graduated up to Logic Pro and started teaching myself that. And then I started making a lot more music. But I also, do a lot of other things, like I grow my own cannabis for part of my treatment for pain and nausea, especially. It really helps with that. So I started a YouTube channel for that, and that's called Made While Medicated. But I haven't been doing any grows lately, so I haven't put any videos on there, I think, in probably a year. But I have another YouTube channel called Infinite Stories that this is where I kind of try to uplift people with inspirational stories or stories about, my health that might help inspire someone else's health, because I know there's a lot of people out there that suffer with dysautonomia and, small fiber neuropathy, and which is another condition I have. So, I try to make videos on there about my own story. And then I eventually got connected up with a bunch of special people that follow Tom Campbell's work. He's a physicist that wrote a book called My Big Toe. And it's basically a theory of everything. And, his basic thing is that we live in a simulation, but the reason that we're here is to really just to spread love and to help lower entropy. So by, being kind to everybody, to helping people, and to being service of people, we can lower entropy and spread love. And so once I found those people about a year and a half or so ago, I've been, volunteering my time to help out as much as I can. And I still was making music and doing graphics. And whenever anyone wanted some graphics or something or a logo, I'd go ahead and do it for them, and just for fun. I don't charge anything, and it just gives me something to do. So yeah, so that's basically what I was doing. And then the music for Michael there, how that all came about was I had been playing around with the AI music early on when it first came out last year, and I really wasn't that impressed with it because it just, the songs were really short to begin with. I mean, you could only make a 1.5-minute long song, which really wasn't that great. So, but someone on the hub, the Consciousness Hub, put a song on there, and it was, almost 4 minutes long, and it was really good. And I was like, wow, I'm going to have to revisit that again. So I did, and I started playing with it, and it wasn't but maybe a few days later, I ran into Michael and heard about his video, and I watched that, and that inspired me to create the song and then create the video from there. So it's funny how things work out like that. It's like one thing leads to another. So
small world.
Yeah. So that's everything in a nutshell right there. Hope it didn't go too long.
I can see why you're doing this, because it sounds to me like you were a person before all this that just likes to keep busy. And you're trying to figure out how to keep busy now.
Yeah, and be something where I can contribute to the world.
Exactly.
I don't want to be sitting in this chair for the rest of my life and not being able to contribute. So if I can make music that reaches other people and touches people and inspires them, or videos or whatever it takes, I'm all for it, because I have a unique situation. I mean, I'm in this chair. I really can't do a lot. When I get up to go out and walk, what happens is my pulse and my blood pressure just like go through the roof. So I might be standing up for 5 to 10 minutes, and all of a sudden I'll get an alert on my watch saying that my pulse is 150 or something. So it's like, I have to watch what I'm doing. So I pretty much stay in the recliner. So it gives me a lot of time. And that's why I can make videos the way that I do, and the music and all that sort of stuff. So I just sit in my chair 7 a.m, start working, and things just come to me. I don't plan anything. I just do what the universe delivers to me, and try to listen to my intuition. So
that's what you got to do. It's let out the creativity, let it flow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. My motto is create every day. So yeah,
it's a good motto. A lot of people should create every day. I think that lives will be better.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and create and do what makes you happy. Exactly. And making music makes me happy. I mean, I couldn't have dreamt of where we are as a kid. I mean, back in the day when I was listening to my little, you had those little suitcase record players. I used to carry that around the house, and I'd hide in the closet and listen to records in there. And I couldn't imagine being able to actually write a song and have music come out, with AI. It's controversial, but it's here. And the way I look at it is, let's try to make use of it in a positive way, and if we can, make songs that inspire and uplift people, and, I can do that without, having a whole band get together and, play my music, then why not? It's not going away. So
AI is a tool. I think the problem most people have, though, is just how AI is created. I don't think they are too upset about certain things. It just feels to them that it's stealing from other things. But you got to look at the AI and what it is, and what it's being used, and how it's being used, and if it's just being used for what it is.
Yeah.
Everything's different. Everything has its thing. You got to look at the bigger story.
Exactly. I mean, I tell people, I say, when I first started doing drafting, I used to do it with pen and paper, and then the computer came along, and I got into CAD, and I did it on CAD, and And then VR came along, and and now AI is here, and it's like, it's an ever-changing field, and you just have to change with it. And it's the same with graphics. I mean, I started out teaching Photoshop in the very beginning, and I'm like, I can't imagine trying to teach it now. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of challenges out there for the instructors and teachers that are teaching it now because of AI. You don't know where the art's necessarily coming from and how original it is, but when I create it myself using AI, I can see where the challenges are. You don't always get good stuff, and so there is a little bit of work to it.
See, that's the whole thing. I feel like, if you got to work it, if you're just using the AI the way it was given to you, then I feel like, okay, you're not. I don't think anything's happening. It doesn't feel like art. It doesn't feel like creating. It just feels like, oh, you're using it the way it gave it to you. But I feel like if you need to tweak it, if you need to do something with it, then it's beginning to become something that's more you than what it was before. But I feel like when people just leave it alone, it's like, oh, look what I got.
Well, it's the same thing with the music, because I mean, when I do the music, it takes, it doesn't sound like long, but it takes like a day sometimes to make a whole song, which sounds like a short amount of time, but really, for one song, it's quite long, because you're generating and regenerating and generating again, and
I'm trying to get it right,
tweaking all the different settings. You're like, I want a chorus here, I want a better harmony here, I want some horns here, and it's so once I get it all done, I'll download the stems, which is basically the drum track, the audio track, the vocal track, bass, and other, and then bring it into Logic Pro. And then in Logic Pro, I can cut things and move things, and then I can even, rearrange things and tweak it even further and make it sound better. So it's a process, and I really enjoy doing it. So, yeah.
I think it's funny though, because I got you guys together, and you guys are all like interconnected in a way or another, because Paul here, he's doing Time Enforcers, which is a little video game he's been putting together for a while, an educational video game. Well, let me talk about it, and then I'll talk about my idea in a minute. Paul, tell the people what you do and all the good stuff. Go ahead, give them the spiel.
Thanks, Rafael. Yeah, so first off, Michael, Riven, man, you have really inspiring stories, so thanks for sharing that, because being persistent and getting through life is half the challenge sometimes. You guys have gone far to be above that. So kudos to you both. It's really nice meeting both of you tonight. Time Enforcers is basically a video game I came up with that came out of COVID. I saw the challenges that students and educators were having during that time with virtual learning. And having gone through the history class my son went through, and how I came out of it really hating history, I became really despondent. So I thought to myself, there's got to be a way to re-engage kids in a way that makes learning fun. And that's really the whole premise behind Time Enforcers, is to make it a gamified learning experience. And it could be history, it could be culture. The whole point is to get kids active again in learning and being creative with it. I mean, Time Enforcers, the way I look at it, is a platform that kids can come to and really hopefully get inspired to want to pursue the learning on their own. And so the first episode is pretty much in the can right now. We're pretty excited about that. This started in 2020, and a lot of challenges with a lot of the programming I've done. I learned it all on my own, and getting the marketing going myself as well. But regardless, I mean, it's gotten to a point now where we're going to be launching on app stores on April 8th. So we have the Apple App Store, we've got the Samsung Galaxy Store, we've got Amazon App Store, as well as Steam and itch.io. So we're pretty excited about that. We'll be launching all the apps there. Probably you can pre-order now, but a lot of the stores are probably going to be open sooner than that. But regardless, that's our official launch day. And this has been a passion of mine for a long time. I think in terms of what the game provides is an RPG experience where you can play as a character, but then you have to match wits with the Inquisitor, who is a character that comes up in the game, and you have to answer questions according to history. And no internet required. Everything is within the game. You can find all the answers you need. And we have developed this device called the Chronoton, which is a lot like a Pip-Boy from Fallout, where it gives you all the answers you need to answer the Inquisitor's questions, and you can get through the game. And like I said, it's really meant to be a fun experience. It's not a deep level dive into history, but like I said, it's a platform where kids can take this and then go on their own and learn for themselves. And that's why I'm not a historian, but I do credit all the history that I located. I go to reputable sources to find it. And then I provide those references in the game. So if kids want to delve into it deeper, they can easily go in and find it themselves. So it's been an exciting project for me. I'm having a lot of fun with it, doing a lot of social media, which I've never done before. So that's a great point of it. Also doing the cons, which is really exciting. That's how I met Rafael. I mean, we met at the Garden State Comic Fest last June, and looking forward to that show again. But it's been a wild ride so far, and I'm just looking forward to getting this platform off the ground and going even further. What I love about the idea is it's totally expansive. The storyline is not beholden to any one set story. It's really meant to be delving into all types of history. So the next game the next episode I'm working on is actually called Flying into the Crown of Storm. It'll be featuring Amelia Earhart. Episode 3 is going to be featuring a colonial African American from the 1700s. He actually knew Thomas Jefferson. He actually invented the first wooden clock. His name was Benjamin Banneker. And we have actually come up with other characters as well. So every episode is going to feature a new character, but the stories are all intertwined and really have to take on this nemesis called Chronolith, who's looking to take over all manner of time, space, and reality. So it's I look to my genre, growing up with comic books, growing up with video games. I came from the 60s where I had the old Batman series, and I try to interplay a lot of that type of action into the game. So there's a lot of bamps and biffs and boffs and all that kind of good stuff. So it's really meant to be a lot of fun, and hopefully people will enjoy it and will get on board and start following me and actually wait for episode 2 to come out after this, which is exciting. So
you've come a long way, bro, from all the stuff that you started with. And what I have to say is, like, all three of you I found this niche, and you guys jumped right into it. And it's all of it is to help people, which you guys all have in common. And I like that. I like the fact that we're finding this, and we're trying to help people out there, and we're trying to teach people and find people and help people. It's again, so one of those things that we need more and more, especially these days.
Thanks, Ralph. Yeah, I think it's really important, like Michael said, and Riven said, it's about giving back. I mean, I find I am inspired just by doing this because I feel like I don't want to be taunting myself more than anything else, but I just feel like I'm answering a bigger call than it is just making a buck. I mean, I really like helping people. I like seeing things come in. I started out my career as a graphic designer and marketing, but what I found to be the most rewarding work was working with nonprofits. And I've worked in all types of businesses, but working specifically like for a hospital or for a daycare center or whatever, just having a higher calling in the work that I'm doing, I just find that inspirational. And so that's what I found with Time Enforcers was more than just a video game. It's meant to be something more that's a learning experience for kids. And hopefully that comes across and hopefully it just continues, which is what my goal is at this point. So.
Love it. Love all this beautiful love, folks. Come on, can't you feel the love?
Is that how you do it?
Don't ask me, man. I'm too old for that kind of stuff. I think the most I can do is this. And
was it like that?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I'll go on mute now.
That's awesome, Paul. Ralph, I wanted to also mention one of the other big things that I had been working on, and that this kind of reminded me of that was Tom Campbell also has a book that he wrote called Tom's Park, and basically it's a book to help people visualize a different world that when you meditate you can kind of go to, and you can meet other people there. And we've had meditation sessions together before. We've all said, well, let's go to Tom's Park, and we'll actually meet up there in meditation, and we've verified this through doing things like giving each other gifts and things, and then coming back and saying later, what did you give me? And then, we'll say, oh yeah, I got a gold necklace from you. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I gave you, So really cool stuff. But what I was getting at was, I did a VR park for him. So you're on my website right now. If you go to VR 360 up there, I started last year, and I pretty much spent the whole year. VR 360 up there. I don't know if we can get to it or not.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah. And if you just click on Tom's Park there, it'll bring you right in there.
There it is.
Yeah. And this is from Skylab. They have these 360 panoramas that you can generate in AI. And so that's what these are all. They all are. They're just panoramas, but you can spin around 360 degrees. And then you can click on any of those hot spots that you see that are kind of floating in the air to go to another place in the park. And I made this just so that people could help people visualize a little bit better, because, during sessions, we've had people say, well, it's really hard for me to visualize what he's saying in his book. So I was like, well, I can visualize that myself, but I understand that some people can't. So I did this just to kind of help people, go there in their mind, and create something visual, from the page. So some of this relates to his book and some of it doesn't. But if you spin around a little bit further to the right, go to the right a little bit more. You can just click your mouse and you can actually turn it yourself.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah. Right there, you see that key that's there on that gate? Yeah. If you click that, that brings you to a whole other part. And this is like something that I did before I even knew about Tom Campbell's work. I had done this just for my own enjoyment. You can use VR goggles to go in here, and you can kind of look around and all that sort of stuff. So it's really pretty wild. This software that I'm using here to host this is called ThingLink, and you can make these virtual tours. And like that speaker that's there, those are like hot links on that to some of his YouTube channel videos. When you click on that, it'll pull up a bigger view, and then you can click on any of those buttons to bring you directly to a YouTube video. So, yeah. And then the upper left, up where the home button is, will bring you back. So it's pretty neat. So a lot of this stuff, a lot of the text in there was like edited in Photoshop. And so I spent a lot of time on these, because it's really pretty difficult, even in AI, to get some of these scenes done the way that you want them to be done. So, yeah, because it just does what it's going to do a lot of times. So the prompting has to be pretty specific. So
yeah, this looks like a lot of work.
Yeah. I mean, there's literally probably 500 panoramas in here that you can go. My grandkids love this. I'll put this on my iPad, and they'll just sit there. They'll click on these links all day, because everything in here is clean. There's nothing sensitive or, PG. I mean, it's all just nice, pretty pictures.
Being in the park.
Yeah, being in the park and going to different places. And then the music will come, that you can hear the music. So, yeah, you can go all over the place. I had to make the signs in Photoshop and then put those in. And so it's pretty cool.
Oh, it is. It's actually relaxing.
Yeah, it is. That other link that went to what was called Riven's land actually brings you to a land of castles, and you'll go from castle to castle, and then you'll have like a cauldron that you can go in, and you can look in the cauldron to look at different lands. You can go to like a place where there's gnomes, and yeah, I've had a lot of fun. I can see
you've thought this through,
yeah. So it's just...
So you developed this for VR, Riven? Is that correct? So you can wear goggles and go through this?
Yeah. If you look in the lower right-hand corner, you see down by the ThingLink logo, there's little goggles down there. If you had your goggles on, you could click on that, and it would pull it up in your VR goggles.
That's so cool. This is really well done. This is really well done.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, there's the key right there. Click on that right there. Yeah. And this will just bring you here to this castle, which has all kinds of links right here. You can go all over the place in here. So, and you know, their software is getting better. These were done last year, and they're even more high resolution than this now. Oh, you might want to turn it down.
Yeah, I noticed it as soon as I got there. I was like, oh, that's not that relaxing.
Down in the lower right-hand corner, there's a little speaker down there. You can see it. You can click on that, and it'll turn it off. Yep. Right. Oh,
Yeah, right there.
there. Yep.
Ah.
There you go. That turns it off. So,
I like the relaxing music over here. It's just that we got kind of excited over there.
yeah. But when you hover over any of those, it'll just basically tell you where you're going to go. There's one part of this where there's like a city that I made, and I have galleries that I put my own art in there.
Oh, that's a good way to do it. Yeah.
And then you can go and click on the art, and it'll take you to I have a Redbubble site that has it all connected to the art, where you can buy t-shirts or art or, you know, things for your iPhone, or, you know, cases for your iPhone and stuff like that. So, but haven't really made any sales. It wasn't really about the sales. It was more about having something to do. And, you know,
I can actually see like a collab with you and Michael, where you go through a lot of the superhero stuff that Michael has in the book in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it. It actually would work really well.
Yeah, I mean, Michael hasn't even seen this. I hadn't had a chance to even talk to Michael about this yet. But yeah,
Right.
I mean, this is definitely something up to, you know, along the lines for kids. I mean, and you could definitely.
Oh, definitely. But it's the best things that are made for both kids and adults. It's always great when a kid and an adult can enjoy something. And I think that's why we, in our, you know, you're probably from the same generation or a little before my generation, Riven. We enjoyed those cartoons because they were made for adults and kids. You know?
Right. Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah, because that's what I keep thinking about recently, because you get all this nostalgia stuff happening lately, and it's like, oh, you know, these cartoons from the 80s and 90s, and you're like, yeah, because they were made to entertain everybody. You know,
Right.
it was more for kids, but, you know, at the same time, it was everybody entertainment, because they knew the parents were in the house watching with the kids.
Well, you remember those days when you had to wait for the cartoons to be on Saturday morning.
Oh my God, yeah. Saturday mornings still hold a thing for me, but it's not the same. But it's Saturday mornings. Oh my God.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh man, that's great. I feel like you should keep doing the good work. I think you found some place where you can actually help a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, I try, and right now I'm on the music kick, so that the VR 360 stuff has taken a back seat for a while. But you know,
well, yeah.
When I get bored with the music, I switch back to that. You know,
exactly. You got to figure out what you want to work on. I'm the same way. When it comes to my writing, I'm the same way. Definitely, I'll be like working on 10 different projects at the same time that you all switch, because I can't do that one thing.
Yeah.
That one thing bothers me. Let's see. Miranda was saying it was so nice to learn all of this about you. I am also guessing you are from New England.
Yes, I'm from Maine. Yep.
I gotta say, I feel like you know, we're all, well, Michael used to be from over here, so. and Paul, you're from over here, and you used to be from Connecticut, right?
Yeah, I'm Massachusetts born and bred, but I'm transplanted down to Jersey now, so I guess I'm more Jerseyan than New Englander, which I don't like saying too much.
So, Michael, do you miss it up here? Because you're the only one down in Florida now.
I definitely miss it during the summer, because upstate New York is absolutely gorgeous. But then the rest of the year, I definitely don't miss it, because while all you are freezing up there, I'm outside running around like crazy in shorts. And so, you know, I'm wearing shorts right now, and I'm not sure what the temperature is up there, but I imagine it's probably not too warm.
Today was okay. Yesterday, I mean, on Saturday, we had an 80-degree day, which was weird. And then it got really cold.
That is weird for March. in
Yeah.
in New York. My
Oh
goodness.
yeah.
Although the city is a little bit warmer, but still, that's a lot warmer.
Yeah.
Freezing rain today, Michael.
Yeah.
Up here. Yeah.
We're being threatened by the rain. So you got the rain that we were supposed to get.
Yep.
Down here,
we haven't been getting any of that.
down here, if there's even a threat that there might be a snowflake coming down, like everything shuts down. It's like, it's so funny to see versus, being in New York where there was, like 5 feet of snow, like on the banks. And, I mean, one time I was driving and the snow was coming down so heavy that it actually broke my windshield wiper. And so, like, I don't miss any of that.
I gotta say, it's so funny when my friend in Texas is like, it was an inch here, they shut everything down. I'm like, what are you talking about? But then I forget that you guys aren't set up to handle that stuff. So an inch is a lot for you. See, folks, it depends where you are, what you're doing, what's going on.
That's right.
So, Mike, you've been making video. You were making video games before this. You're still making video games, right?
I'm more supporting the ones that I already made, because they're actually both. So I started the Doom 3 mod Last Man Standing in 2004,
Right.
and then I started working on Platinum Art Sandbox in 2007, and there's still a community behind both of them. And even not too long ago, I got an email from a kid in Poland where he actually recreated his school in Sandbox. So Sandbox, you might actually be interested in it, Riven. It's all about being able to create and to be able to create quickly. And so you just start on like a flat 3D plane, and if you just click and drag with your mouse, like what you want to edit, and if you scroll forward, the ground goes down. If you scroll up, it goes up, and you can click on the sides and push and pull. And if you want to just add in trees, then you just click where you want them and hit a go to the model list and click a model, and boom. And so you can create stuff really quickly. And so anyway, this kid, he modeled he created a school, and he made it into an escape room, which is really cool. And then he sent me a video of them playing it. And so I got to see the software on each one of their computers, which was super cool. And like, they're all speaking in Polish. I'm just like, wow, like that's so neat. And his dad actually ended up coming into my Discord, because I recently made a Discord for Last Man Standing and Sandbox and Superhero Hill, because there's just so many people emailing me still that I was like, okay,
you need a community, yeah.
Yeah, like there's definitely still a call. Like, let's at least like get some kind of like I want to at least support the community, and just trying to update the forum software all the time was too much work. And so Discord has been pretty nice. But so the dad popped in and said that thank you, because the software really helped him connect with his kids, and he had like six kids, and just the stories I hear about it are crazy, because Sandbox 2 had well over 1 million downloads, and I ended up actually just getting tired of counting them, and so I don't know how many it actually is, but it's crazy that my last release was 11 years ago, and I'm still getting
that says a lot.
Emails, yeah, and emails about how they changed their their lives, and so since I made it so long ago too, I've had a lot of people pop in and say hey, like, this really helped me through my childhood.
Wow.
And because now they're adults, and they're like, when I was 10 years old, I was using this, and sometimes they'll be like, I was all depressed, but then I got to go in and create my own worlds and connect with my friends. Because the whole big thing about it too is that you can actually create with other people, and of course people all around the world. And so people found it as a nice way to connect with their friends and create stuff together. And I mean, how do you put a price on that? For me, that's the most rewarding thing in the world. And it's so crazy too, to just put something out there, and then 10, 20 years later, hear these stories about their experiences with it that I never could have even imagined. You know what I mean? Because I'm just kind of in my own world bubble. I don't know what's going on everywhere else, and just to hear that something that came out of my brain help somebody. Even with the book, someone put an Amazon review. It was from Germany, and I had to use the Amazon Translate to read because it was in German. And I'm like, the book reached Germany, and it was about how this little 6-year-old girl read the book, and she ended up selling all her princess stuff, like got rid of all her princess posters and stuff, and it all became superhero stuff. And now she's doing like rock climbing and like martial arts, so she can protect her family. And it's like, you know, like working on like, you know, improving, you know, her body, like her physicality, you know, like exercising. That's what I meant, exercising. And just all this like crazy stuff, like in Germany. I'm like, I didn't get to Germany. Super cool stuff. So that's why I don't even know what to focus on. Like, I'm like, should I work on the game? Should I work on the book stuff? And so now I just kind of sit back and just whatever opens up, I just go with it. Because now me and Riven are doing music together.
I was gonna say, I feel like you and Riven are like in the same mind frame at the moment, because you guys are like, let's do this, let's do that,
Yeah. I mean, the music's interesting too. I mean, and it is rewarding, like Michael said. I mean, the comments that you get from people really move me and touch me. I mean, they just, you know, and it's a world audience. And the interesting thing is the music right now is most popular in Vietnam, and you know, you can see all that and track all that on SoundCloud. So it's
always interesting with that. That's why I like the little things that Facebook and YouTube and Instagram do, where you can actually see who's watching, what's going on where,
right,
how long they're watching, you know. And I know it's the same thing for the music and stuff, how long they're listening, on how long, you know, where are they listening from.
Yeah, it's pretty
neat. Riven, I forgot to tell you that I can't believe I forgot to tell you this, but I've actually had a lot of people after seeing the video that you made for the Might of Kindness song. A lot of people have told me that it made them cry.
Yeah. You know, it made me tear up when I was making it, to tell you the truth. You know, sometimes things just come together and you watch it and you're like, wow, yeah. I mean, it gets tingles all over your body.
Let's see, you know, because I know people are probably intrigued out there. Let's see if I don't get a copyright strike for this, but here we go.
Oh, you shouldn't. Yeah, you shouldn't.
I'll play a little bit of it. I say that all the time, and then I'll get one, and I'm like, I don't get it. Hold on. Here we go. There is.
We give you permission.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all you should need, right?
Supposedly.
Walking down the city street, people rushing, can't you see? A little smile and nod hello can change the world, let kindness grow. Light up dark with simple deeds, plant the seeds for hearts in need. In this race, don't lose the spark. Kindness leaves a lasting mark. Oh, the power of a kind word, stronger than anything you've heard. Lift someone up and feel alive. Together we can thrive and strive. A hand to hold when skies are gray, turn the night into the day. Spread the love in every place, catch the fire and embrace. It's a chain reaction we ignite, turning wrongs into the right. A gentle touch, a soft reply, watch it soar into the sky. Kind word, stronger than anything you've
Very nice, very nice. You did a great job with that. Whew.
That was awesome, guys. Beautiful.
Oh man, whew. I think I'll take this moment to throw in our Team Drew in.
Oh, I wasn't ready.
I can tell.
Hold on.
I gotta say, I just had to throw you in because you're pretty much doing the same thing here, where you're working on all this beautiful stuff that it's just great for everybody. And I know that at first you tried to do it from somebody else's thing, but now you're working on something that is all your own, and you're trying to put it out there.
I got a lot going on. I got so the thing that I was doing to expand on someone else's game is actually going to happen.
Oh,
it
is.
It comes out at the end of the year, and they've given me the green light to put out my own miniature line for it, called the Plague Throne miniature line. So, rules are going to come out free end of the year, and then you can buy all the minis separate in the store. And then I have 2 original TT RPGs that are making their public debut this weekend at Long Island Tabletop.
Which we all heading to Long Island Tabletop this weekend. It's going to be a blast, a party. We are all going to be there hanging out, having fun. And I'm going to bring you a lot of the Team Drew stuff straight from the con.
Mm-hmm. I got some cool stuff going on, too. With I'm making 3D boards for everything.
Mm-hmm.
I got like a 3-foot cathedral that people are going to be able to go in and stuff in the games and stuff. It's coming out really fun.
Well, I remember your table from the last time. I didn't get to see you the last time, but I remember your table from the last time. So it's interesting to see what you do this time.
Well, this time I'm actually teaming up with the Weathered Dragon. They make premier gaming tables, and like they've made them for Todd Stashwick. Sorry,
that's a great team up.
Yeah, and basically I'm gonna be running all my games on his premier gaming table at the convention, so you get to see all that.
Damn. You're just waiting appetites now.
Oh, listen, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait for it this weekend.
And I also see that Michael Oden is back there. I'm going to let him in only because, dude, your first book, you know, you had all this beautiful stuff on it, you know, The Embrace. And, you know, can you tell a little bit about the story? Because I feel like it fits in right now.
Oh man. Well, so the story of The Embrace is you have this father, Clarence, whose son was murdered, and in this kind of moment of desperation, he's about to take his own life when his son's ghost comes back and stops him. They come together for an embrace. He gets a vision of what happened to his son that night. When he comes to, he's in a super suit powered by his son's ghost. And so together they're going after his child's killers to bring them to justice.
Yeah, I love that book. Love the story. It's a tale of, you know, heartwarming there. You know, especially because, you know, most people always take it into that darker sense when it comes to this, which is one of the reasons I like your story so much, is that it's a much more positive sense. It's not that whole, I am the crow, you know.
Yeah, 100%. It's actually funny because I was on Twitter, and I had posted, Ryan Otley had posted up some pieces that he had done of anime style characters, and like I just like jokingly threw in a thing that was like, hey, have you ever drawn The Embrace before? I know you haven't, but I'd really like you to. And I like had a couple pictures of him, and a whole bunch of people were commenting on it, and they're like, oh, this kind of reminds me of Haunt. When I gave like the picture, I was like, I mean, yeah, like I really enjoy Haunt, and I definitely think that there's a little bit of inspiration there, but Haunt has this very nihilistic tone, whereas The Embrace doesn't. Like at the end of the day, you know, David, Clarence's son, was 8 years old, and he's there to save his dad from losing himself. And so like, it's not a tale of vengeance. It's they're bringing these people to justice so that Clarence can finally find the strength to move forward in his life.
Love it. And I was like, oh, we're in a certain place here. I think I'll bring them in a little early just because we are in that place. And dude, I gotta say, Mike, Riven, you guys have put us into that place because, you know, it just feels, you know, like, you know, you guys are working on this, and it also feels at the same time that we're working on your projects, but you're working on life, and you're helping life become something. And Paul as well, because, you know, you're doing all this stuff to make history come alive. You know, I know a lot of people out there who look at history and they go whatever. But me myself, I am a writer because of my history teachers, not because of my English teachers. History and the stories they told inspired me to write my own stories because they told it in a way where I was like, okay, I am interested in this. When history was never one of my big fortes. So keep up the good work. That's what I wanted to say. All right. So I see we're at the the bottom of the hour, getting ready for the next hour. Mike, Riven, Paul, of course, Paul, our guest host. You guys are all welcome to stay with us. Do you guys need to leave? If you need to leave, I'll give you guys an out.
I'll probably take off at this time.
All right. So, Riven, what you're going to do is you're going to tell the people where they can find you and all the good stuff because we want to hear more of your music and more of your stuff. So go ahead.
Thanks. Yeah. I mean, you can head over to my website. It's just rivenwaters.com, HTTPS, rivenwaters.com. Or you can look me up on SoundCloud where all my music is right now. Just look up Riven Waters.
There you go, both sides. And if you look in the comment section, hey, you'll find the links. The links will all be there because, I want to make sure it's easy. And I don't want my friend out there going, Ralph, I'm not going to go looking for this stuff. Why didn't you put the links in the comment section? Riven, it was a pleasure. If you ever want to come back on, you are more than welcome to.
Thank you very much.
Work with you,
All right.
We'll make it happen.
All right. Well, thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Anytime, Riven.
Good meeting all you guys. All
Great
right.
song.
Great meeting you, Riven. Good luck.
Thank you. All right. Thanks, guys. All right. Bye-bye.
Mike, are you with us or are you going?
Yeah, I was just going to wish him have a great everyday, but I wasn't quick enough. That's okay.
Don't worry. You get a chance to hang out and talk to him. So
missed the opportunity though to tell somebody to have a great everyday. That's all right.
That's true. But he knows, and he's probably still watching us.
Yeah, I'll get him later tonight. Yeah, Riven, when you watch this back, have a great everyday.
And probably some people will probably rewind and watch us back, and you're helping somebody out.
There we go.
So Mike, you're going to stay with us, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to meet these two awesome individuals that just joined us.
And of course, the wings, we have Russ.
Oh, Bree.
What up? Hey. Hello, everyone.
So, folks, Russ and Drew will be at Long Island Tabletop Gaming Expo this weekend. And we get a chance to hang out, do a bunch of things over there. This is going to be a party and a half. You guys are here in New York. Head out to Long Island. It is in the Museum of Aviation. What is it? The
Cradle of Aviation.
Cradle of Aviation.
The Cradle of Aviation, great museum, and it's a con, and it's in a museum, and that's just too much fun. And Michael's here because he's hanging out with us, and your book is already live, right?
Mine?
Yeah.
Which book? Elysian Fields is live. Yes, it launched on Friday. It was Raph. You should know you were in the top 20 backers. I just dropped off.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I just dropped off your signed collector proof in the mail today.
Oh, so, that's right. You did that special. Look at that. I supported it. I didn't even remember you were doing the special thing.
Yeah. So it's a good time. Like we're all sorts of excited for Elysian Fields Reborn. It's great.
All right, so folks, we know who Paul is. We know who Michael is. Maybe you know who I am. I don't know.
We've heard of you.
Doubtful.
What we'll do is, Team Drew, why don't you start this off? Kick it off. Tell the people all the good stuff. And if you have a link or two, put it into the private chat and I'll share it.
Oh, sure. So to start off, I'm Drew. I am Team Drew's Basement. It's not really a team. It's just me. Team just sounded better. I'm going to be at Long Island Tabletop this weekend. I DM there almost every year. Last year I did vendor, but this year DM, but this year I'm doing full DM all weekend. I sold out of all my tables within about an hour. So I think one table has one seat left because someone dropped, which is
Whoa.
one of my original games. On Saturday, I'm basically taking Diablo 2, the video game, and I'm dropping on the tabletop using Old School Essentials as the platform.
You're kidding.
No, I'm dead serious. I even have I'll have to text you some pictures, but I actually have Diablo painted up. If you pull my Instagram, there's a couple posts about.
You know, it's funny. I was just doing that.
Yeah. So you're gonna fight Diablo, Lord of Terror. You're gonna fight Andariel, Mistress of Pain. You're gonna fight Blood Raven from the very beginning of the game, which is the first quest you do. We go to the burial. Second quest you do at the burial grounds. I have recreated the burial grounds as 3D terrain, and then I've also created. If you scroll along my actual page at the feed, I think you can see it. You can see Diablo himself somewhere that I painted up and built with the cathedral. And then I recreated Tristram Cathedral for that as well, where you'll fight Andariel, and then it's going to blow apart, and you're going to fight Diablo himself. He's going to rise from the ground. It's all lit with flickering flames. So that's the cathedral. If you can scroll through those pictures, you can see it because I put lights on it.
Oh, man.
So, and all those lights flicker like fire too,
dude.
So it's still a work in progress. It needs more paint, but that's what you're working with.
You know, it always bugs me out when you see something exquisite and you're like, it's still a work in progress. I'm like, what?
No, seriously, I have so much painting to do. I'm off Wednesday from work, so hopefully I can finish it up then.
Oh my god, look at this thing.
It's totally awesome. Really beautiful.
Just for reference, that thing is about 3 feet long. It's huge.
Wow.
That's insane.
What did you construct it out of, Drew? What would you use?
3D printed out of the FDM.
Jeez.
That was it when I just laid down the stonework on it. I created a 3D board underneath, so it's all flocked in grass and it's not just like a flat map.
Did you do the STL on this too?
No, I'm not that talented.
I was gonna say, I was like, yo.
No, if I did, I wouldn't be doing sheet metal for a living.
Fair enough.
But that's just some work in progress pictures.
And that's not to take anything away from you. Like 3D printing is an art form in and of itself.
Yeah, it is.
Dude,
I know some 3D printing guys that can't do this stuff.
Yeah. It's tough. It's fun. It's just a little nerdy hobby that I do. And then on Sunday, I'm actually running to you can skip this page. We'll talk I guess we'll talk about while we're here. So the game I was trying to put out the expansion, Wazdeck / the Plague Throne it's an expansion to Super Dungeon. That's a little preview of the website work in progress because they have given me the green light to run my own miniature line for it, and I'm releasing the rules for free.
That's awesome.
Nice.
So that's all original artwork, all original minis.
I love Sarge.
Yeah, Sarge. So Sarge, funny story, is actually my real life dad.
Dude, I knew it had to be somebody personal.
Well, so basically, before you skip on, Drew Thalion is obviously me. Toons is my best friend Adam, who's been my best friend since 2nd grade. Sarge is my dad, who's the reason this whole thing happened because, just nutshell quick, he had prostate cancer. It hit him hard, like emotionally and mentally. So like playing Wazdeck and Super Dungeon made him super happy. So we kept him going through by doing this. He's now cancer free, obviously, but
nice.
In his honor, we have made Sarge. Bottomless Obor Chompers is my friend Pat. And the bald guy down there in the pink and silver armor, that's Sir Humphrey Drayden. He's actually going to be at Long Island Tabletop as well.
Oh, I love this. I love this.
And excuse me, Sarge will be at Long Island Tabletop as well. So you could actually meet the real life Sarge.
I think I'm happy I'm going to be there both days now.
Yeah. And then Sunday I'm running 2 brand new tabletop RPGs that I've created. One is there you go. There's Diablo.
Woo!
Nice.
That's him inside one of the pieces of the cathedral. So he'll be there. Woo! That's my dice bag. So basically Sunday I'll be running those 2 right there in the top right, the Ordo Infinite Atavastic and the Gehenna Saga. The Gehenna Project. That is a sci-fi TTRPG that's a brand new, original, has an original dice system to it. That I've just named the TDB dice system because I haven't officially named it. It's like Mass Effect meets Star Trek meets Alien. So it's like sci-fi horror, but you can keep it completely like diplomatic and interacting with like other species and stuff. And then the Ordo Infinite Atavastic, which is the one that had the seat open up in it, is a steampunk Victorian era style setting horror game, which is something I'm excited to really share because this game, not many people know. In college, I actually studied religions of the world, demons of the world, stuff like that. I studied exorcisms. Everything in this game is based on real life scriptures and holy books of religions all around the world.
You don't say.
So all the demons and mythos and everything that you find it is all based on, I guess for lack of a better term, like real life stuff.
You have my attention, my friend.
And it is all horror, investigation, and survival. And it's going to get crazy. One of the spoilers is they're actually going to meet Mary Magdalene's sister in it by the end.
That's
I see you dove into your work here.
Yeah. I mean, listen, it's all done very tastefully and respectfully to everybody's religions. Like nothing's exploited or for, I guess, for lack of a better term, nothing's really gross in terms of like, I didn't take it and bastardize someone else's religion. It's all done respectfully. It's all taken from it. There are some original plot twists and some original demons that I've created and original monsters I've created. But it's really an homage to all those world religions and beliefs and mythos that I've studied. And, so it's really, for me, it's really interesting as a DM and for people who are like big into history and studying things like that. It's really, really true to a lot of the world religions and what they believe. Like when I play tested it, I sent it against the demon Aziz Dahaha, and people were like, "Are you serious? That's crazy!" And like when they were like read the lore about it and stuff. So I'm really excited to run that one too.
So wait, how many people have you shown this stuff to? Because I know certain people will probably be upset that you're using certain things.
I've shown it to basically everyone you see in that picture.
Interesting. Nobody's complained yet, right?
No, and again, nothing is like I said, nothing is done offensively. Nothing is.
It has nothing to do with that. Some people just get upset with certain things.
Oh, listen, I put a disclaimer out there that it's all based on this stuff, and be prepared.
How can you use his name like that?
Yeah, basically, yep. But no, listen, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of horror. And it's really open to people to do what they want.
You got my attention in it. It sounds good, and it's steampunk. It's just like hitting all my bits and pieces there.
There's one seat left.
What time is the seat for?
It's Sunday that first morning, so session. So I think it's 10 o'clock.
I can actually, you know what? Put me in the seat.
You have to sign up. I can't do it.
Fine. Be like.
You're just like, geez, man, you're on my show. You couldn't just let me in.
I know why, it's how you fill the seats.
No, it's because the Weather Dragon wanted to was like, save me a seat at one of your games. I was like, dude, I tried. It doesn't let me. Like, you have to go do it yourself.
Yeah, you gotta do it yourself.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm really excited. This is last year I was more of a vendor. This year I'm more of a DM.
I gotta say, this year you feel like you're more involved.
Way more involved. Yeah. I'm also having giveaways at my table for any player. I have Homebrew Coffee Company, which is a D&D nerd coffee group. They're sending 4-ounce bags of coffee for every player at my table.
Damn.
Canadian Dice sent dice for everyone to take home at my table. Awesome. Everyone at my table, per usual, is allowed to take home any miniatures they want from the game. And I might be giving away the Burial Grounds 3D map to whoever wants it too.
Dude, you're just trying to seduce people. It's like, come to my table, come to my table.
Wait, there's more. I also have a free adventure book that contains basically the outlines of every adventure I'm running there.
Wow.
So you can take it home and run it for your friends however you want. It's loose instructions, gives you a lot of story and fluff that you can use to play it.
Dude, you are the man.
And then in the back of the book, there's a bunch of advertisements, coupon codes, and stuff for people at the convention and other people who are online that do services, like such as like my artist who did the art for my game, and a couple artists he knows. Like, it's all advertised in the back that you can go, and if like you're at the game, you get the coupon code and they'll give you discounts on stuff.
Drew, I gotta say, one of the other reasons I love you so much is because you are one of these people, you know, like us here at Bitten Apple, where we raise each other up, you know, and I've come to hear no bad from anybody about you. I just hear a lot of good, and of course you introduced us to you know, the what is it, the nerds,
the geeks, 4 geeks by geeks.
The geeks, there you go, 4 geeks by geeks. And that's just been a geek love fest since we met.
Oh yeah, they're super rad guys. I was like, they have to meet you and you have to meet them because you guys are all just gonna connect.
I did his show, he did my show.
Yeah, it all works out. It's great.
Oh, definitely.
But I think, and one last thing, since the last time we spoke, and I think Michael was actually on the last one.
I was about to say, I was like, man, he looks really familiar. I was going to say, dude, I'm fairly certain we've hung out before.
100%, dude. I love your comic. Anyway, we'll get back to that. Since the last time we spoke, my manga has actually come out and sold out in Poland.
Whoa,
that's freaking awesome. What's your manga about? Like, I see the manga author there. You need to make it American mangaka is what you need to say.
No, this is pure manga, and I teamed up with my artist in Poland.
No, that's what I'm saying is that like that's what manga artists and writers are called. They're called mangaka.
Oh, then I'm a mangaka.
Yes, I am too. I've got a JoJo parody manga that I did like 3 years ago, called SPQR's Bizarre Adventure, where I literally took the fight between Jotaro and Dio from Stardust Crusaders, and it's Julius Caesar and Pompey Magnus at the Rubicon River. Julius is Jotaro, and I named both of their stands after classical Latin texts, and then Pompey is Dio, and it was a blast. I worked with Kari Salviejo. She did a great job on the art.
That's what you were hinting at before when you were on the show recently, where the whole Julius Caesar thing.
Quick question: did you do the walk?
Oh yeah, no, like everything is there. Hold on. Let me. I'll pull up the cover that we did for it, like the main.
Look up the meme if you don't know what I'm talking about.
I am very. I am
the audience.
I'm JoJo.
Yeah.
Like
he's telling the audience, "Oh, folks, if you don't know what we're talking about,
just for fun."
Yeah.
This was our main cover as an homage to like the final issue, the final episode of Stardust.
Oh my god!
Oh, cool! That's awesome.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
That is great.
Yeah. So Julius Caesar's stand is called De Bello, and Pompey's is De Republica. So of the people and of the wars, of the people being, Cicero, and of the wars obviously being written by Caesar himself.
I can see why that Ides joke would have worked with this.
Oh yeah, dude! I had everything marketing was like around that time period. I had a blast. It was a good time. But
I feel like everybody has a connection here today. In one way or another, everybody's connected. Drew, you were saying something else near the end.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think someone asked me what the manga was about, but there was a collection, it was a collection of short stories that all had to be like technology or like cyber themed and whatever. And basically, the story was there was a girl. I mean, not to give spoilers away, not that you guys are probably even. I don't even know what the manga is even officially called, but basically, this girl goes in and breaks into like a building. She's got like a cybernetic arm and stuff, and she takes down like a bunch of cybernetic guards. Gets to like the head of this business, and like they get into a whole debate about it. There's like a big reveal, like 4 pages in, that she's like his daughter, and they fight, and he winds up killing her. And then it all fades to a scene where there's a girl sitting in a cafe where you can read on the computer screen that it says whatever number agent deactivated, agent whatever activates. And when it turns around, it looks like the same exact girl, only with like different weapons. And she starts heading to the building. And it's like this whole thing about like technology versus humans. And there's, it's like a little 8-10 page manga in the big book, but it's I'm pretty proud of it. It was a lot of fun to do.
That's awesome. And I was the one that asked before I went on the completely unrelated tangent. I apologize.
It's all related. It's all good.
All right. This just means we're geeking out the right way.
Yes, of course.
I mean, but other than that,
all the time. Yeah.
And other than that, I'm working on a podcast for Old School Essentials, where we're going to do an actual play that's going to be loose. It's not going to be like the super structured thing. It's going to be actual people actually playing the game, and includes all the flubs, all the jokes, everything. And I'm turning my 28-year Dungeons and Dragons campaign into a trilogy of Old School Essential adventure books. And that's about it. That's all I got to it.
How do you have time for all this stuff?
I have two little kids.
When do you sleep, man?
There's another common event here happening where everybody's like busy as.
I got a 6-year-old, and my daughter's gonna be 2 in May.
Oh, that's even worse, bro.
plus a lot of work going on at work. I don't know. I just do it when I do it. I just whenever I find time.
Too much
So
fun.
has your campaign been going on for 28 years?
So true story. It has been going on 28 years. It's a homebrew world. I started when I was 14 years old, and one player's been in the game all 28 years. Still comes back. One guy's been in it for
an award because we all know as
you're not itching to kill him off at all.
No, not at all. But what I love about him, that guy in particular, is he doesn't mind dying. So like if he does something and his character dies, he's like, no problem, bro. I'm gonna roll up another one. We're good.
Oh my god,
that's just how he just wants to play.
That's dedication.
That is dedication.
And then DM, I love it.
That's probably why the game never ends. He just keeps coming back.
I'll get another one. Don't worry about it.
15 years. Another guy's been in it for 13 years. Another guy's been in it for 12 years. And then another guy that'll be at Long Island Tabletop, David Johnson, who I met at Long Island Tabletop the first year I did it, played in one of my games, was like, dude, this was like, he goes, I'm telling you right now, I've been doing D&D for like 40 years, and you're the best DM I've ever played with. And I like almost cried because it was such a genuine compliment. I was like, holy cow, dude. And he's like, no, he's like, legit. He's like, I've never seen anyone do what you do. He goes, I need to play more of your games. So I was like, why don't you just come play in my game? So he's been in the campaign for the past few years. And he'll be at Long Island Tabletop, being a psychopath running all 5 sessions like me.
This is going to be an interesting tabletop.
But yeah, we just evolve the game with each edition that comes out. But this newest edition, we won't get into it, but it's new edition I'm not a fan of, so we switched over to Old School Essentials, and we're going that way now.
Nice.
But the campaign continues.
Do you know what like the longest, like the Guinness Book of World Record is for like the longest going D&D campaign? Because like you guys totally need to be targeting that.
Honestly, the guy who's been in it for 28 years is my friend Adam, who I've known since 2nd grade. Like we're like super tight. Like if he could have been, he would have been the godfather of my kids. Like,
wow,
we're gonna be running this until we're old men. So
I know. I just like get that like confirm what the record is, because then you get to say that we're confirmed the longest running D&D campaign of all time.
You know what? I'm gonna Google it right now.
Also,
that's what you gotta do, man.
43 years.
Our friend here started this whole thing. There's a Miranda here, and Miranda's like, this has been such a great show to listen to. I appreciate that, Miranda. I am here. Glad I stopped by. Yep, he was from Maine because she figured out he was from New England, and I'm so ready for the next hour. Look, we got people going, folks.
But now that I've talked way too much, somebody else please talk.
Dude, we haven't even started with you, but we're gonna move on for a minute.
Yeah, please.
So the other guy at Tabletop is Russ from Game of Tunes, and he has a lot of things planned there. And there's a story that might happen there at Tabletop. I don't know. Go ahead, Russ. Tell him.
Well, I don't know about how much I have planned. I'm going to go there and I'm going to sell some stuff. I'm hoping to meet up with you, and then you're going to reveal the story for the little character that we kind of collaborated on, at least part one, right? I mean, yeah. So that's my big plan for the weekend, is kind of hang out there and just chill. I mean,
are you vendoring or are you demoing? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm a vendor. I'll be selling art, pins, 3D prints, stickers, all sorts of stuff. Yeah, I'm over. I'll be over by the gift shop.
I'll come visit you for sure.
Yeah,
all right, awesome.
Dude, Drew, you got to check out these blip chips.
I don't even know what blip chip is, but it's freaking adorable.
Yeah, those are my new little.
Go ahead, Russ. Tell them what these blip chips are.
No, they're little. So I brought them up with me. Actually, that's the one I have with me. If you can see there we go. They're little fidgets. So, and then they come with a little stand, and you can display them.
That's awesome.
That's adorable.
Do the click.
Thank you.
Click. Come on, you got to do the click.
I don't know. Can you hear it? I don't know if it's going to go through the phone. I'm trying.
You got to go get one. The click is amazing. You know,
there it is.
I have one for my character Hugbert.
There you go. Here.
Me and Russ worked together on it, and he made one for my character Hugbert. There he goes, my character Hugbert, and it just clicks so beautifully.
Yep. Yeah. So this will be the
Crashers art.
That
reminds me of like the Castle Crasher style of art. I love it.
Oh yeah. Very. I do very cartoony stuff, and chibi, I guess, would be a description sort of.
Chibi, if you didn't know,
these are awesome.
Thank you.
Cool. Dude, and he got such a show. He has a great price point too. Oh, look at it.
That's awesome.
Oh, thank you.
My son's gonna flip. I'm gonna get him.
And
I'm gonna get him with you. He's gonna love that.
This is the blip chip that won the fight, right?
Yeah, that's the winner. So I'll have yours with me at the show, Ralph.
More Hugberts.
I actually have a few printing. So.
Ooh.
Yeah, because I didn't realize how low we were on them.
That's because they sell so well.
Yeah.
So folks, hit Russ up. He can make things happen for you.
Yeah. I'd say like, oh man, that might be worth doing.
I love your Street Fighter sticker.
That would work for that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
and this little double right here, he might be the guy who's in the story. Well, actually, he is the guy who's in the story.
Could be.
And you have a blip chip of him too.
Wait, hold on. I came prepared.
There we go. And I'll show you guys. Oh, look at him. He is so cute. So you can get my story while you're buying the character. Come on, folks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love this little double here. Russ came to me with it for my double challenge, and I have enjoyed writing this character so much. I love mischievous characters.
Stop.
And I actually played this as a D&D character in a D&D campaign.
So I see you have Fifth Element blip stickers. Are you going to make those blip chips?
I may, yeah. So this is I just kind of started this, so I only have like the initial 6 going, but I plan on I have like a ton of like blip characters that I want to continue making, as long as they people seem to like these.
Listen, dude, Ruby Rod, I would have bought him right there.
Yeah, he'll probably have to happen.
Oh yeah, these are great, dude.
No, thank you.
I love the fact that you made the card.
Oh yeah. I did for tabletops. I did that, and then if you scroll, I did a Pokemon one also.
Oh, hold on, that's right. I forget sometimes this is in. Oh my god! Look at that.
Wow!
Nice.
and that actually glows in the dark too.
And it glows in the dark. Oh my god! Look at it. Isn't it beautiful, folks?
That's super cool.
Thank you.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, folks, we're gonna be over there at tabletop. We're gonna be having a lot of fun.
Yeah, man.
So, Ralph,
Seriously, anybody watching,
chaotic evil
it's
then?
gonna be great.
What happened?
Was your character chaotic evil? Is that what happened? You said he was like D&D, right?
Oh, it was D&D, yeah. And I don't know if I can be evil, but I can be bad. And it was fun playing him in the campaign because it was DM Ray had done this tier in his Kickstarter where you play your own character from something you've created, and it was fantastic to do because it was, and I tell people all the time that D&D and a role play is a great way to write or become a writer because it actually lets you see your characters in action. So I ended up having to play the character. And because I was playing the character, I saw things about the character that I wasn't paying attention to from the get-go, because now you're acting out the character and you're doing all this beautiful stuff, and you go, wait a minute, I didn't know that. So folks, D&D is a great way to put your characters out there, get dialogue practice in, because it becomes natural dialogue as you're doing your role play. And I'm a big proponent of role play and D&D being a great way to improve your writing. And your acting.
100%.
Yeah, folks, go play D&D.
Yeah.
And if you don't like D&D or the way it's going, which seems to be a hot topic right now, there's so many good other TTRPGs that, like, you like the old school D&D, like 2nd edition, go old school Essentials.
Yeah.
You want to go something that's more sci-fi, go Starfinder. There's so many options out there.
Oh, it's so much role play. I was a big Vampire the Masquerade guy.
Me too.
Another game that made my writing what it is today.
Question: preferred clan.
I was Gangrel.
We are besties. I was hardcore Gangrel.
I was either Gangrel or I played Caitiff. My Caitiff was secretly a Gangrel, so I don't know.
I was either Gangrel or Malkavian. Those were the two.
Malkavian is hard to play.
I played unhinged. He slept on a couch. So,
dude, man, did you play him Robin Williams, or did you play him just crazy?
True, like Heath Ledger style, Joker style. Like crazy.
That's a lot of energy, man. I'm only asking because you're sitting there playing this character, you're putting all this energy, especially when you're crazy, into this character. Oh my god!
Why be so serious?
No, he was unhinged and he just did things, and we eventually had to kill him because he had grown to a point that he was just anything he did could derail the game at any moment. Because he had survived so many things. Like, he was so crazy that at one point he just walked out into the sun to do something, and it left him so scarred and everything. He was like hideous, but it got to the point where we're like, can we kill him? I'm like, yeah, we can kill him.
I gotta say, that's the problem with the Malkavians. Usually somebody goes too far.
Yeah, you know what? It was just like he was, again, the problem with most Malkavians, like you're saying, he was just crazy. So, like,
yeah, not
even in regards to going too far, like, how much can you really do with that before it really is a hindrance on the story?
But even in the game, that's what happens is that you're completely losing your mind, and the more you lose your mind, the more danger to even the masquerade you become. So
exactly. So I think it was like 12 sessions in, they were like, I'm like, yeah, this guy's got to go. He's doing too much stuff. He's done.
He reached the edge of his utility.
Yeah, but that was the first time I was ever a player in an RPG for like a little bit of time. So that was fun and exciting. And then I never did it again until all these years later. I finally played a character for a session.
I mean, you know what it is. As soon as you become DM, everybody goes, "Well, Ralph's the DM, or Drew's the DM."
Well, what kills me is my friends. They're like, "Yeah, well, I'll DM," and then they do like 1 or 2 sessions. They're like, "Bro, like,
how do you do this
story? Yeah. We got to go back."
It takes a special talent, man. Like, I remember I tried to build a campaign at one point, and I think I got like, I think I was working on it for about like 2 or 3 weeks, and I just eventually told my friends, like, "Sorry guys, I can't." Because like when I write, like I'm very much a okay, this is how I want the story to go, and this, that, the other. Like, I'm very like meticulous of it, and I'm just like, if any of these assholes from what I have planned, I will lose my shit. And I just went, yeah, no, this isn't the right call, because I know every single one of my friends would literally just go, let's see how much he's actually prepared for us to fuck up. And I would then be put in a position where like I would hate everyone. So I was just like, yeah, no, I can't do this.
See, my superpower
seems like from the stories that we've heard, everyone has that one player, but if you have all your players like that, that's not good. If everybody wants to destroy the game, yeah, it's just, you know.
It's less that they are normally like that, but like when it comes down to messing with me in particular, it's like, oh, dude, we've got to get Oden pissed. Like,
I improv 99% of my campaigns. Everything's made up on the spot, and it pisses my players off because something will happen to like. And I will tell you, sometimes it is pure luck that things line up, and like a huge reveal or like a connection to something that happened like 12 years ago in the campaign comes up, and I'm like, oh, this would be a great time to tie that in. And we tie it in, and they go, dude, that's crazy. Like, how long did you work on that? And I push my DM screen over, and there's literally not a single piece of paper behind it. I'm like, I don't know. Just made it up.
Guess what?
And that's how I've run for 28 years. I just make it up as we go, and it's worked for my group. I don't know if it worked for everybody.
I'm a glutton for punishment because what I did was I took one of my stories and I made it into a campaign. So, you know, I wanted to see what they would do with it that I didn't do with it. So that's become my big thing right now. And so I keep putting these people in the story to see how they mess up the story. So I want them to mess up the story.
What system are you doing?
I get it, Drew. Because I'm like both ways, because I can plan something out meticulously, but I don't need it to go the way it has to go.
Right.
It can go whichever way it wants, but I'm going to be ready for it.
What are you running it in, D&D or something else?
I was running it in D&D. I'm still running it in D&D. I've done it like 3 times now, and each time it's been a totally different story.
Nice.
And I love it, and I can't wait to see what happens. I'm working on one right now with the guys that they're supposed to play, but things got a little busy, especially now with our 10th anniversary, folks. That's right. Going on 10 years in October. Woo. 10 years of doing this crazy geeky stuff that we love so much. Oh, man. So let's see. Michael, it's funny that we're talking about all this, and my first campaign was with my friend who he loved Romanesque campaigns. And it always, you know, it was always something Roman, and the game was redone a bunch of times, but it was always something Roman. So I completely understand where your story's coming from, and I feel like this would have been something he would have done. So Michael, tell all the good things. Tell the people all the good stuff.
To clarify, he's not talking about me. I know my name is Roman Tony, but no. Different kind of Roman.
Type of Roman. But
Michael, if you got your Kickstarter link, because I think it disappeared off my computer, put it into the private chat and I'll put it up.
Give me just a second. Let me get that first, so that way I don't forget, because it's totally something I would do. All right, so there's the link. So we just launched this on Friday, and I will say, while I appreciate your friend's love for Roman things, because I am a Romophile my own self, this is actually more like the main characters are Greek, but like it deals with all sorts of different mythologies. The whole premise of this is that its baseline is it's Mortal Kombat with heroes of mythology. So,
like I said, he probably would have done something like this.
So like you have our story starts off, and we're in the 10th year of the Trojan War, and we get to see Achilles' final battle at Troy. He dies, he goes to the afterlife, and he's not really he goes into like a kind of stasis of peace for a little bit until he is pulled out to fight in this tournament alongside Heracles and Hippolyta. And they are fighting on behalf of Hades in this tournament, where all the other gods of the dead from respective mythologies have brought together heroes from their respective cultural mythologies, put them in the arena. Winner becomes Lord of the Underworld. And so Hades is trying to get his dominion back. And Achilles is going to be fighting heroes and legends that are beyond anything that he faced at Troy. So, like in our first issue, we set up a fight with him going up against Gilgamesh and Enkidu, along with you've got obviously Heracles and Hippolyta there. Heracles kind of goes without saying, but Hippolyta was the queen of the Amazons. It's been a blast putting together. And this was actually like the first comic that I came into the industry with back in 2020. And I did very well with this. It was Elysian Fields issue 0, and I did really well with it. But the second campaign I did not do well on, and I almost quit comics because of it.
Wow.
And so now here we are 5 years later, and I've got a full-on reboot that is on a completely different level. And it's been beautiful to put together, and the book is done. One of the big things that I really wanted to do with this was when we went to crowdfunding is I wanted to have the book pretty much completed so that people knew that they since I had funded Elysian Fields before, I wanted people to know that I had actually, gotten it done. So like we have the books. I still got like each of my proofs. These aren't like the final versions. Like we'll still be doing an editing pass, and then we have stretch goals to upgrade covers. But like I wanted to make sure that we got all of our covers printed out. We got this awesome one by V. Ken Marion.
Is that the supersized magazine size?
Yep, we've got 8.5 by 8.5 by 11 prestige format. So this is one by Von Randall and Robert Nugent. I know you like that cover, Ralph. I know you do. And then this one was a really great homage to.
I like that one too.
Hades.
It was a tough fight.
Yeah, like this is by a completely new guy that I found, Zachary Panintuam. But really good stuff.
The colors are amazing on everything. Like that's just great use of color. It looks amazing.
It's been a pretty impressive thing to get together. Probably one of the coolest moments was I reached out to V. Ken Marion's art agent, his talent rep, and I sent him the interiors and everything. I was like, I'll probably not hear back. It's V. Ken Marion, kind of busy with a bunch of stuff over at DC. And his art agent just goes, what is this? like tell me more. And so I gave him like the pitch and everything like that. He goes, yeah, okay. I showed it to V. We're in.
Wow.
And so it's really cool having a V. Ken Marion Andrew Dollhouse cover on my campaign. Did not think that was something I was going to be doing at any point in time, but it's really cool to have it.
Yeah, he's really a great guy. I love
he's
Dave.
so awesome.
I met him so many times at cons, and he's really cool. Really cool guy.
Dude, he is the nicest guy, and then stupid talented. You have no idea how to. So like when he was doing his cover, he sent me 4 thumbnail layouts for different cover ideas. He had. It is easily the most difficult decision I have had to make as an indie creator. Because every single layout was a banger.
Don't want to be in your shoes.
I was just like, God damn it, V-Ken.
Well, I just saw cover C and I backed it. So there's that.
It's a really good freaking cover. That cover is fantastic.
That's what I said.
Yeah, I just backed that one. I'm in.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in too, Michael. This looks awesome.
I really appreciate it. It's been a blast putting together. I also, to let you guys know, I think I put this on Twitter, but when we fund, which I am assuming is going to be fairly soon, we've got less than $800 left to get to the goal. I'm going to be doing a raffle of a couple of cool things. So I have the original character sketch pencils of Achilles, Heracles, Gilgamesh, and Enkidu.
Ooh.
So hold on, if you can blow me up again real quick.
Boom.
So there's Achilles, and you also get this. So that'll be like your Achilles pack.
What?
And then
I feel like everybody on the show just wants to tempt and seduce everybody.
so this is Heracles' character sketch. You get his face and his club, and then his back as well. So that's another one you could potentially win. Here's Gilgamesh. Here's his front, his back, and his bow, and his axe, and his sickle sword.
We're gonna need to do some bribery here, Ralph.
And here is Enkidu.
Oh my God.
His back as well, and then his profile along with. So this is actually really cool. So I know that you were Drew. I know you were talking about like meticulous research on like global mythologies and religions and what have you.
Yep.
I am very similar in that way. So Enkidu's club that he has here is the trunk of the cedar tree that that the Humbaba was tearing down in the forest.
That's
and
awesome.
It's covered in Humbaba teeth.
That's so cool.
So
I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like we have all sorts of cool stuff. Like Heracles has the Nemean lion pelt, but one of the really cool things that I wanted to have happen is I told Will, because the Nemean lion was impenetrable, his the mask of the face of the Nemean lion is his helmet. So like when he has that thing down, he's seeing through the Nemean lion's eyes.
Whoa.
And it's just covered. Like that's what he wears for armor. Because that's what Heracles did, was he wore the Nemean lion pelt as his armor. That was his whole thing. But like I really wanted to make it look cool and badass, and I think that we've done a pretty damn good job of accomplishing it.
You definitely have.
Yeah, Gilgamesh looks awesome, man. He's big. We're so used to the Fate Stay Night version, we forget that.
Oh, dude, I love so I love the Fate series so well, and it makes me so angry that this weird Japanese romance action manga has the best interpretations of some of my favorite characters.
It definitely does.
Like Gilgamesh's personality on point. That is exactly how Gilgamesh would act. It's just hilarious that he's this effeminate blonde boy in like medieval armor. Alexander the Great, Iskandar in Fate Zero. He's the best interpretation of Alexander in any media ever. Like they nailed his personality, and I'm just like, how? Like, how is this weird, like obscure anime that like only the most niche of the niche know about? How is it the one that gets all this stuff right?
I love Dracula. No, Fate Apocrypha.
That is awesome. In Apocrypha, where like you've got Vlad the Impaler and his noble phantasm as he turns into Dracula. Like you're not like, do not fucking use that. Like I am so mad that that's how people remember.
Because he's like the real life Dracula. He's like, imagine if you were the real life Dracula in Heaven and Hell, and you see that they made you into this monster, this vampire. It's like, I wasn't a vampire.
That was the thing that I loved about it so much.
Yeah.
And like even their portrayal of Achilles and Chiron in Apocrypha, chef's kiss, really good. Like I liked that, they to make Achilles likable. They're like, okay, we're not going to focus on the pride and rage aspect of Achilles' character. let's focus on the fact that he has a very strong bond with his friends.
Yep.
Like that is his biggest treasure, is the bonds of friendship he has made, because he has like nothing else to his name. And it's just like, okay, yeah, that's an interesting and authentic take, and it works. And then you have him going up against the guy who taught him literally everything. Perfect. I can't make any arguments.
You know, you got all those Fate fans out there really happy.
Fate actually played a pretty big role in helping me figure out my angle for Elysian Fields. Like, this concept's been in my head since I was an annoying little middle schooler. So like, but like seeing the way, like seeing how they set up the Grail Wars and everything like that, I was like, oh, okay, so fucking tournament book, and then just go from there. And it's been a really big thing to put together. I honestly didn't think that I was going to be making more Elysian Fields. If you had asked me like 2 years ago, I would have been like, nah, that's kind of done. I've got to focus on the Embrace. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. But then, you know, I started getting a lot of people asking about it, and I started seeing, I had posted the original version up on Webtoon, and it's got, you know, 110 subscribers.
Wow.
With over like 5,000 reads and an average rating of 9.78 out of 10. And so I was just like, okay, so there's clearly something here. And that's when I went back. I completely, you know, the bones of the Zero issue are still there in this first issue, but everything else is just completely fresh and brand new. I really wanted to showcase everything that I've learned in the 6 years that I've been doing these comics.
You know what, folks? Let's whet your appetites a little more. Let's go to the videotape. Appetites whetted. So, folks, go do yourself a favor. I'm going to put the freaking link into the comments section so I don't hear my friend all whining over there going, I'm not going to go in there. Yeah, so here it is. If it wants to come along peacefully, here we go. And in the comment section, make life easier. Go support. Go pledge. This is a fantastic little book right here.
It's not little either. It's big. It's got 44 pages of story.
It's a magazine size type of thing, you know.
Yeah,
like heavy metal. Oof.
It's pretty impressive. I was not prepared when I unboxed the proofs. I was not ready. Like it's always a special thing when you get your books in for the first time, but like this was like it made me feel like the way it did like the very first time that I had opened up one of my books. It was very emotional. I was like, I'm not okay.
This is not okay, guys.
So, folks, you guys are all coming in here going, "Dang, Ralph, this show's longer than usual." Maybe or not, because you're having a lot of fun, but I can see you out there. So, you know what? Let's do a recap. Mike, why don't you tell the people who you are and all that stuff so that they can know what they missed the first hour?
Okay. Oh, that Mike. There's two of us in.
Oh, that's
in
right.
show.
Now I gotta say, Tomaino. Why don't you tell the people who you are and all the good stuff so they know what they missed the first part of the hour? Oh, well, the other hour. Go for it.
Sure. Well, it's been so fun to get to meet all you awesomely creative people. Like it's so neat to see just how many different branches of creativity there can be, and just seeing people pursue their creative passions is awesome. But yeah, so I'm a game designer, author, speaker. I teach kids and adults how to play frisbee at a local park, and probably other things that I forgot. But yeah, and so all my my current work is about how we can all be a real life superhero just by being kind to each other. And so that's what my TEDx talk is about how we can be a real life superhero just by even saying hi to people and or holding a door open, etc. And so I wrote a book about it, and it's based off my own experience, like things that helped me, and then also things that really worked with my students, especially my low income students, and how they're going through a rough situation, and I use the idea of the superhero to get them excited to create their own stories and animations, and because I was teaching them the Google Suite, and those kids ended up creating so much content that I couldn't do the digital school magazine that I wanted to do, and so it's really cool. That was I was very happy to have that problem. But it was just that, I mean, the most rewarding thing by far was, seeing kids that were coming from a rough situation and didn't think much of themselves to seeing them see a lot of themselves and seeing what they could do and create. And so I'm sure all of you would be really inspiring to them too, because, they can see that could be them someday. So yeah, that's what it's all about for me. And my second game project is all about being able to create in 3D. So I really just love bringing people together and seeing them have fun with each other and be good to each other. And that's what my Frisbee events are all about too, because sometimes it's not Frisbee, sometimes it's soccer, sometimes it's football. It's really just about trying to bring people together and us all combining our own real life superpowers. And because things just get so beautiful when we do come together, and you know what I mean? It's and with all my stuff too, it's not just me. I've had so much help with everything, and that's like the beautiful thing is, we come together and just make something so much greater than what we could do individually. At least for me, in my case, because I'm not particularly talented in anything. I just have a lot of awesome people that help me out. So yeah, so thank you. And yeah, the website is superherohill HILL.com. And I have all my various stuff on there, and I welcome any communication. I love talking with people. If you're trying to find your superpowers, I'd be happy to help you. For me, it's all just about getting the kindness out there and rippling it out, because that stuff makes a big difference. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And
that's really beautiful. I love that. Like straight up, you're absolutely right. It's one of these things that, like, any act of kindness can ripple out, and it's such an understated thing. And I think in a world where we're constantly looking down at our phones, constantly looking down because of everything that's going on, it's important to have someone to remind you that, hey, you need to look up and pay attention to the world around you and let people know that they're seen, that they are heard. Because in that way, we can all recognize each other's humanity, and I think that's a beautiful message.
Thank you so much, Other Michael. If I may add to that too, I'm going to try to word it in a proper way. But there's been I've heard many stories of people that were ready to not be a part of this life anymore, and then somebody would say hi to them or smile to them, and they'd be like, "Whoa, someone actually acknowledged my existence. They actually cared about me, and they would change their mind, and it would change their life." And at first I thought, like, no, that's no way. Like that's too extreme. And then I ended up talking to a bunch of people that were like, no, hey, that happened to me. And I mean, what more beautiful thing could we give to the world? And so anyway, yeah. So thank you, Michael, so much for what you said.
My pleasure, other Michael. It's always great to find another one of us out there. Hashtag Council of Infinite Michaels. We need to get it happen.
Well, it's kind of cool too that we're both doing superhero stuff as well.
Yeah, I got to send you the stuff for the Embrace. I think that you'd really like it.
I agree.
It's a story that's helped a lot of people. When we were doing the Kickstarter, because I initially done it on Indiegogo back in I think 2020, 2021, and we were very successful, raised over 15K and got some pretty global reach, which was awesome. And then I did the Kickstarter, and that's actually when I met Raph. And when I had done the Kickstarter, I did a partnership with the Virginia Victims. What was it called? My brain is running, but they're effectively an organization in Virginia that helps out survivors of homicide. So like the victims' families and everything like that. They run support groups for those people, and so we did a cover in support of them. That we got the very talented Joel Gomez to do. That was just absolutely beautiful, and it was a really cool thing to kind of see the Embrace be an active help in the community and be a representative of this group of people that, there is this kind of emptiness, because at the end of the day, justice can feel empty at times, right? Because it's not what you want, but it like at the end of the day, you have to accept that and you have to move forward. And that's ultimately at like kind of the core of what the Embrace is about. David's never going to be coming back. He's dead, so this whole journey is about saving Clarence and what have you. And I think that it really speaks to what you're trying to do, is you're recognizing somebody's pain and helping them through it with anything so much as a high.
It's so, I don't know. I don't even know what to think of it. Like, well, first of all, it's so beautiful that you say that, but I don't know if we're like mirror versions of each other or something.
You're both Michael. You mirror versions.
Every Michael's connected in some way.
I'm tired of multiverse stories.
Those kids that I was telling you about, that I was trying to figure out how to connect with. Okay, so this is my very last stint teaching, where they're in really, really rough shape. One of the reasons why they're in really, really rough shape is because their teacher had just before me had gotten murdered.
Ooh,
and so and these were all K-5 kids, and a lot of them knew what happened. And so it's like what you just said is like a parallel. And so the work that you're doing too, I was honestly tearing up a little bit, because man, like those kids were, a lot of them were in rough shape, and they wanted to talk to me about it. And I don't know, like, I didn't know what to say. Like I usually just didn't say anything, because it's, being in the school system, I say the wrong thing, and it's disaster. But
it's a very difficult thing to navigate. I can only imagine. Like I served in the Army for 6 years. I've lost a lot of friends, more after service than in. Like I didn't do anything exciting. I was in the Army National Guard. I deployed to Qatar for about a year, which is literally just a paid vacation in the devil's asshole. Like, but after service, I've lost a lot of people to depression, to this, to that. Just not being able to cope, coming back, going civilian, doing anything like that. And you hear stories from their families. Like I didn't like he seemed fine yesterday. And like the fact of the matter is that that's not like it. Like a lot of the times that people mask that, and it's one of these things where it is very hard to talk about it because, and then when you have it where like the school teacher is murdered, that brings in a whole other level of tragedy. And if they know the aspects of like how do you comfort somebody, especially when there's that big of an age gap? Like you can't go up to you can't level with them on a personal ground. There's an active like difference in power dynamic. There's all sorts of stuff, and it's incredibly difficult. So I can't even imagine what that was like to be in your shoes.
Well, I mean, the most important thing that I found as a result of that, and I had known it a bit before, but I really saw the power of it, is that when a kid or even an adult know that you're in their corner, and it doesn't even matter what you say or do, just the fact that you care, it flipped everything. And my way of teaching too was inspired by Socrates. Maybe that would be one of your a comic someday for you. But he says that education is a kindling of a flame, not the filling of a vessel. And so I realized that I could teach them everything I knew, and it'd be nothing compared to if I got them excited about it and just helped them facilitate it along the way. And that's what happened. I had so many kids too that were going to the library to continue their projects at home, and I never assigned any homework. And then I've run into a bunch of them, now like 5, 6, whatever years later at my Frisbee events. And they're like, hey, yeah, I'm still working on my stuff that I did with you.
That's
and
awesome.
I'm like, and I never, since I was teaching media, I wasn't grading or anything either. So, anyway, yeah, wow.
To lighten the mood a little bit, Miranda put in the chat, down with Rome, up with Carthage. You apologist, calm down, okay? You lost 3 times. 3 times. It's over. It's over.
They're not gonna
Roman
let it go.
Empire might be over too.
You're not gonna let it go. Come on, you know that.
Carthage got salted. I know that she's gonna be like, the archaeology doesn't support that.
Oh my God. So we're talking history, and of course we need to bring Paul into this now because he is a time enforcer. So Paul, let's help the people catch up and see what they missed the first hour. Tell them who you are. Tell them what you do. Go for it.
Well, with all the fellow geeks here in history, Time Enforcers is all about history. So came out of COVID. From what I saw, virtual learning was happening with my kids, and how ineffective it was for both educators and students. Time Enforcers was a brainchild to make learning history fun again. So the whole premise is you go into an episode. I think of these as like the old Batman episodes from the 60s. And the first episode is going to launch on April 8th on all the app stores, which we're really excited about. But you go through as a character in time. You go back in time, learn about the history. You have to be challenged with questions to get through the game. And the whole point is really to stimulate creativity for kids to learn more about the subjects that we're presenting. The way I look at Time Enforcers, it's really a platform to launch pad kids into wanting to learn more. Similar to what you guys are just saying, how you're sparking creativity with kids and wanting to do more on their own. That's really the premise I came up with for this game, was essentially serve out this information so they can go and then learn more about it themselves. I was a big history geek when I was a kid. I loved it. I couldn't get enough of it. And this was before the internet. So I actually had to go to the library and find books about it. But, with the internet and everything that's going on now, the information we can get is so accessible. It's really easy to find. It's just a matter of getting kids, tuned the right way. It's like, this is really cool stuff if you really think about it. I mean, I look at Michael's, Elysian Fields, and it's like, wow, this is blowing my mind. This is so cool. I mean, just think about the history with Rome, with Troy, with everything that's going on. It's just amazing. The complexity, just the whole storylines that can come out of this stuff. And, Ralph was saying earlier about D&D and how you tie in together, the whole idea of story concepts through play. It's really what Time Enforcers does. It presents a whole idea of, the timeline's being disrupted by this evil guy. We got to do something to stop him. And along the way, you go and learn about different things in the past. Episode 1 is all about feudal Japan. So you learn about samurai warriors to a certain degree. And it's really meant to, again, spark creativity with that. I just want to tip episode 2, just to let everyone know the next episode that I'm working on is called Flying into the Chronostorm. It's featuring Amelia Earhart, but we're also introducing a new character called Nick of Time. And it's actually going to be based on one of our favorite webcast hosts, not to mention names. I think you can guess at this point who that is. But regardless, Ralph and I were talking about it. It's like, yeah, I think I can put you into the game, man. It'd be really cool. So he'll be Detective Nick of Time, and I'm doing a lot of stuff off this. It's usually a lot of fun. So,
Paul,
but we're actually launching all the app stores on the 8th of April. We're going to be on Apple. We're going to be on Samsung. We're going to be on Amazon. We're going to be on Steam. We're going to be on itch.io. So I'm just really excited about this. It's taken a long time to get. I mean, I had to learn all the programming myself to do it. Came with the artwork to do it. It's been a passion of mine to get this off the ground and going. I just can't wait to get an episode 2 next, which is going to be a lot of fun too. So,
Paul, if you ever need help coming up with any of the prompts or anything like that, please.
You're kidding me, Michael. I'm tapping all you guys. I mean, Drew,
yeah, history.
My creativity pool is growing by the leaps and bounds just by being on Ralph's show here. I mean, it's just amazing. One of the things I had growing up when I first started in this field, we actually did a magazine called Metro in New York City, like in the late 80s. I'm really dating myself now. But anyway, the whole premise of this idea was like a people magazine in New York, but really featured a lot of artists, photographers, and writers.
Yeah.
And I found it to be the most creative thing that I ever did, because meeting the talent, for what people are doing just invigorates me. I just love the fact that you can interface with people, listen to their ideas, come up with new ideas, because you're throwing crap at each other. It's like you never even thought of before. And then you come up with something that's even better. So that's what's really invigorating me about this, because, meeting guys like you, ladies like I've seen on other webcasts with Ralph, it's just like I can really draw upon and really see how this can grow. I mean, giving back is something I've always wanted to do. I mean, and working with creatives like yourselves is something that really invigorates me. And that's one thing that's really been a benefit for this project for myself, is being able to meet people like you guys and just hopefully tap on you sometimes so you can help out. It'd be great.
Oden, you want to say something?
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, man, like my background, just to give you my degree is in history. My focus was classical period. My senior seminar that I wrote was on Alexander the Great's adoption of Persian customs as a political tool and how that cost him like everything.
That's like, I don't have enough time. I mean, it's killing me. It's like there's so much stuff coming out of here. I'm not sleeping as it is. I don't know how you do it, man.
Dude, trust me, I completely get it. I have a script that I initially titled it "Treat Me as You Would a Liar." I shortened it to Demeritus. That I want to finish at some point, and it's the Battle of Thermopylae from the Persian perspective. And we utilize, so a lot of people don't realize this because their knowledge about Thermopylae comes from the movie 300, but Xerxes has in his court a Spartan king in exile named Demeritus. And prior to the battle, they see the Spartans and they're braiding their hair and they're doing all of these things. And Xerxes and his retainers are like, these guys, like, we'll give them the standard deal that we give all of the people. They're gonna cave. They're clearly outnumbered. This is not going to be an issue. And Demeritus straight up tells them, was like, they're preparing to die, and they're going to fight you, and it's not going to go the way you think it is. And Xerxes like, surely you're kidding. Like, we outnumber them like 10-1. And he tells him, sir, if things don't happen the way that I am telling you that they are going to happen, treat me as you would a liar. And this is a huge deal because in Achaemenid Persian culture, lying is a capital offense. And especially lying to the Persian king who is the denizen of Zoroaster, the chosen of Ahura Mazda, which is their god of light and truth and everything like that. Like, straight up a kill me. Don't if I'm wrong, go on ahead, murder my ass. And so I effectively have it set up where Demeritus is almost this Cassandra-like figure that's given them the whole thing at the beginning, and it's like, go on ahead, go mess around, and you see kind of like the glory of the Persian procession and everything like that, and they just get slaughtered.
Yeah,
and Xerxes is furious.
Bleep around and find out, you know.
Exactly.
Well, and it's a really cool thing because everybody sees this story from the Greek perspective because that's how it's been recorded, right? Like we have these stories passed down to us through Herodotus, Plutarch, and everything like that, and they had inherent biases in their histories, and that's one of the greatest faults of it. And there's not a lot of sources that we have from the Achaemenid perspective, and we're only now just starting to kind of piece together certain things with them. Like even their military structure is a complete enigma to us. But you think about this from the Persian perspective, the Battle of Thermopylae is nothing. They win. They go on, they burn Athens, they terrorize Greece for I want to say 3 years. And it's not until the Battle of, even Battle of Salamis isn't the end of it. It's not until Plataea where the Persians finally leave. And by that point, Athens has been burned 3 times.
Yeah.
So really, and then Persia just stays away from Greece and then funds the Peloponnesian War for the next decade and a half. So just fun little history tangents.
No,
point is, hit me up if you ever need a prompt.
I mean, because I said in my bio, I mean, whatever promotions I put out, I think what I find most fascinating about this, aside from meeting all the creative people, is really researching the history myself. Mm-hmm. It's just amazing the characters you find who I grew up reading a lot of history as a kid and in high school, but I haven't even scratched the surface yet. I mean, there's so much stuff out there that people have just overlooked and haven't risen to the top because, I don't know, for whatever reason, didn't pass the litmus test of being interesting. But, one of the characters that's coming on episode 3 is African-American, lived during the colonial times, Benjamin Banneker, knew Thomas Jefferson, fought for civil rights, and he invented the first wooden clock in the colonies. It's like, wow, my mind just blew. And it's just like thinking about that and how that can resonate with kids, and get them going. It's like, wow, if he could do it, maybe I can do it too. And that's really what I'm trying to do with this little game of mine is, really get kids enlightened to the fact that, it is kind of cool to learn about history. It is kind of cool to see what other people have done, over the course of time. And just not, recently, but in antiquity, like you're saying, Michael, there's so much cool stuff going on there, let alone the freaking dark ages. Cause I grew up with medieval history big time. I loved it. It was just great, and it's just so much, there's such a wealth of, content there to draw on and get kids interested, and that's really the ultimate goal. Is really make it accessible to kids, not so much violent. It's more like deliver the message. You could be good, you can do this and that, but you don't have to be chopping heads off. Not for nothing, but there's ways you can get the message across without getting
unless you're playing D&D.
That's different. I mean, that's like I said, my age group is 9 to 11. After 11, it's blood and gore, run and gun. So I can't compete with that. There's just no way. I'm not on Xbox yet. I'm not on PlayStation. I got a little app game going right now, so I'm kind of limited by memory. If you know what I mean.
All right, folks. I see we're coming on the time where I should go. Let's wrap this up. So, Team Drew, why don't you tell the people a little bit again and remind them where they can find you and all the good stuff, especially because this weekend we will be at Long Island Tabletop and Gaming Expo. Go, Team.
Yes. I sent you the link tree that you can share if you want. If not, you guys can find me on Instagram.
Go for it.
At team_Drews_basement. You can find me on Instagram. That'll bring you to pretty much everything. But more importantly, just come find me this Saturday at the Cradle of Aviation Museum. I'm at table 7 supposedly, but you're not gonna be able to miss me with all the with all the lights and effects and everything on the table that I'm going to be running on. So, yeah, I mean, I'm just a nerd doing nerd things and sharing my nerd hobbies and promoting people who I like, and that's it. Just come visit, come get a hug, come get some free coffee, and that's me.
That's him. And this weekend, you can meet him in person at Long Island Tabletop and Gaming Expo at the Cradle of Aviation, where you can see Ralph as well. And our friend Russ down here, who is about to tell us a little bit about himself as he tells you where to find him, even though you know where to find him this weekend.
Okay, so, so Russ, Game of Tunes, you can find me Instagram, Facebook, X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, at Game of Tunes. Also, if you like little cute little animal pins, I've got paw pins as well. So, which will also be at Tabletop this weekend. And yeah, if you're looking for me, stop by my booth. I'm over by the gift shop at the Cradle of Aviation, and hope to see you.
Hope to see you guys too, and stop by. Maybe you'll get a little story about a little devil who's really mischievous, and you can even buy the little devil if you want to take him home with you.
Yes, yeah.
And I'm looking forward to you guys to hear the story of a lovely lady. Oh wait, no, other show. it's the Raven thing, man.
We're missing 2 characters for that song.
Oh, folks, yeah, you're gonna want these little beautiful blip chips. They're amazing. They're fun. They click.
Yeah. Just come by and play with them. You don't even have to buy them. Just come. I'll have them out there so you can play with them.
Dude, Long Island Tabletop is going to be fantastic. We are going to be having a lot of stuff over there. Especially, we're going to be hanging out with our new sponsor, which will be there. Well, they'll be there through us because, that's how you'll see them. And you guys can test out their new media but not media thing, social but not social thing, as you hang out at the Cradle of Aviation and do this project and jump onto this thing and become one with each other. Because the way the app works is that, instead of like your usual social media where you put it out there and it's out in the ether, this one works where you are there and you are sharing it with each other. So it's just with each other. So if you're not at the event, you won't see it. And folks, we will be there having fun. Doing it, yeah. Michael, one more time, tell them where they can find your Kickstarter.
Oh, well, I am Michael Oden. You can find me. Obviously, the campaign Elysian Fields Reborn is live right now.
Ooh,
we are less than $800 away from reaching our 3K funding goal, and we are hoping to blow well past that. We have a whole bunch of fun stretch goals for you. You can also find me on Facebook, 9 Realms Publishing, Instagram at 9RP Comics, Twitter, Elysian Fields _0, but mostly that's me just complaining about Christopher Nolan's Odyssey set photos right now because it's killing me. But the other 2, I would highly recommend following us. We're starting to get better about posting up more things. But yeah, if you have any questions about anything, either about Elysian Fields or even previous works, feel free to reach out to us.
As you can tell, you got what questions, you just ask these geeks and they'll get answers.
We'll try.
Mr. Tony, are we forgetting something?
No, let's see. Well, I can just talk about myself. So Bitten Apple, the anime season came to close, so I gave it mini reviews for all the shows I'm watching. Can't remember them all. Solo Leveling, Kinetic, all that. And also posted I was at the Gundam Times Square takeover, so I was also posted some video on there. It's on Facebook, on Instagram. SANOFROM SRK. So that's me. So you can go there and check it out. And that's it. That's all I got.
Yep. Tony was fun. Tony was having fun at Times Square where they took over all the screens and stuff, and you can actually.
Now we're making all the screens. We got like 7 of them.
What?
But yeah.
What travesty is this?
We got like 7 of them. Yeah, when they did it for One Piece, they got all the screens. But we had like 7 of them. When first it came on, it was like, where is it? It's like, oh, it's that screen over there, that screen over there. It went on for 15 minutes. It was still pretty awesome. So yeah, I took videos of 2 screens, but like Instagram, like crap one. So you know, but it's the same footage. Just one of them was like one of them was like a screen like this, and the other one was like just straight down like that. It was just really cool. As an anime fan, it's cool to see, like, you know, that, you know, we were accepted, yay! Yeah, that's cool.
We're in Times Square.
When we were kids, I remember, you're watching that anime? No, you gotta watch Transformers. Like, no, you gotta watch anime. You know, so but here we go. Transformers is good too, you know. But
I guess the only other thing we gotta say is here it is. Yes, all right. We can't forget that our beautiful Mata Sorcier has her Sacrimony 8 out right now, and you can get all the Sacrimony in this campaign. You know, she does everything herself. She's the writer, the artist, the penciler, the inker, the letterer. Folks, come on, help her get paid. You know, because the saddest thing she says is she does all this work and she can barely afford to pay herself. It's so sad. And her art is beautiful. Go check it out. Well, you know what? I'll show you a little bit of the videotape.
I used to think if I couldn't find hope, I should just let it all go. I used to think if I couldn't make dreams come true, I should just let them all go. When life seems impossible, look from a new angle, change just one little thing. When life feels intolerable, find your true source of life. Focus and focus on all.
Like I said, lovely. Come on, folks.
hey, Rob, did you find out if she's singing the song? Because I think
I forgot to ask her. We'll find out, folks. And hey, if you guys are looking forward to seeing Mata Sorcier, you can see her in person in April at the Brooklyn Independent Comic Show in Industry City, which we will be there, and will be the first time we meet her in person, and we're going to bring all that to you live. That'll be at the end of April, and at the beginning of April, we'll be at Tabletop, and at the end of April, we'll be at the Brooklyn Independent Comic Show. We're busy, as you can tell. And Miranda's over here going, the Michaelverse. All right, folks. On this show, when it's going to end, this happens.